Now, in this video, I'm going to talk about the brain and what exactly happens to the brain as you awaken, post-awakening. That's what we're talking about here. Have you ever come to a point whereby you noticed that you were changing? You're on your little journey, post-awakening, and then you recognize that you're changing. Everything is changing. And then obviously you don't recognize yourself. You feel as if you've fallen out from your older self. You feel as if like something has changed in you and you cannot really understand what exactly is going on. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I've been there. You see, one thing what you have to understand, chosen ones, is the awakening is shifting you out of the old paradigms. You are heading towards your best self. So you are heading towards a new version of you. And most of the times you see, along our journeys, our brains have been intoxicated with so many things. Our brains have been intoxicated with religion, cultures, family traditions, school programmings. We have been intoxicated in each and every single way. So all of a sudden, along our journeys, we start to get new programs in our brain. That's the reason why you see sometimes people, they have a problem to learn new things. You know what I mean? A lot of people have got a problem to learn new things. They're thinking that, oh, you're trying to tell me about spirituality? Our family has always talked about religion. We have always been Muslims. We've grown up Muslims. We've been Jehovah Witnesses. We've been this and we've been that. So most of the times, we have been programmed very deeply. Our brains have been programmed ever since we was kids. So from a very young age, we have been conditioned and programmed in a different way. So all of a sudden, that brain of ours we have, it has already developed new systems inside, and those systems are the ones which have been keeping us in the matrix. So obviously, along your journey, of course, eventually chosen ones, you meet different kinds of individuals. You start dating, you start going into relationships, you meet some of these narcissists. These narcissists are going to come around and continue programming your brain and continuously put you to sleep. Now, you've already been asleep eventually, but when you meet a narcissist, you'll fall into a deeper sleep. It will feel as if you're in a coma. You go to sleep and you cannot wake up. And sometimes you wake up, you feel as if you're dreaming. Now, when you awaken, I've told you guys, awakening is divine intervention. The process of awakening is divine intervention. So you never know when it's going to happen. You can just wake up one day. Today I had a call. Actually, yesterday I had a communication with a friend of mine, and I really felt that I felt that as an empath, sometimes when you hear some of these stories, you can feel with people, you relate with people. So this friend of mine was telling me that she had just discovered that her family is toxic. So they have been eating off of her energy for a very, very long time. So they have been actually um, abusing her behind closed doors. So my friend has just awakened yesterday. Now, if you're the person I'm talking about in this video, first of all, I'm going to congratulate you. I understand what it means to awaken. I understand this whole process. So I will congratulate you. But on the other hand, I'll also encourage you that this is going to be a process of enlightenment. So you're going to get out of that bubble. You're going to start getting enlightened and you're going to become the highest version of yourself. But it's going to take a process. So people are waking up, ladies and gentlemen, nowadays. A lot of people are waking up from different situations, and you can't always concur with me, chosen ones, that the awakening process is simply the beginning. There's a lot of things that's going to happen, chosen ones. You have been with me along this journey. We're talking about 3 years plus at this moment. You've been along with me along this journey, and you have witnessed my personal evolution. And I'm not talking about only myself, but also many individuals around the world who are also going through a similar process of evolution. As you're evolving, chosen ones, you start to notice that you've been fed with a lie for a very long period of time, a very big chunk of your life. You have been fed with lies, and eventually you're tired of the lies. You're realizing that for the very long period, for the most part of your life, actually, for the biggest chunk of your life, you have been fed with a lie. You've been trapped in systems, family systems that are not even serving you, family systems which are even planning to destroy you. They do not want you to do anything for yourself. They just want to keep you in that family bubble. You're waking up and you're realizing it's been a lie. So what happens, chosen ones, is that now your bulbs have gone on, you switch on. Your bulbs are switched on. And eventually you can see the truth. You can look through the BS, you can see the matrix for what it is. I've told you guys, those families, they are part of the matrix. I'm not talking about regular families. There are people who are born into regular families. There are people who are blessed. Me personally, I will not lie to you that I've been born in a regular family, a normal family. So there are some people who have been born in normal families. So most of those guys, well, they may not experience, they may not walk a similar journey like we do. You know what I mean? But at some point in time, the individuals I'm talking about in this video, they are the individuals who have grown up in very terrible families. You have been programmed since you was a kid. There is no amount of explanation I can give you guys waking up one day and realizing that your entire life has been a lie. And at that point and from that point onwards, everything in front of you is starting to be questioned. Your parents are going to be put to question. Now you see what is happening now post awakening. Your brain is going through a transformation. For you to be able to identify and to relate and to recognize your authentic self, your brain has got to go, ladies and gentlemen, listen to this one. You have got to go through a massive transformation. Your brain is going to start to transform. So your brain is going to start to kill the old programs, family programs, religions, and all these kind of things. You have seen it everywhere. People snap out of their families, people snap out of religion because finally they realize they've been fed a lie even in their own churches. Some people even coming to that conclusion that they've always been led. The so-called bishops and pastors, they are also narcissists. So now what is happening is that now your brain is starting to rewire itself back to your authentic version. So as you start opening your eyes, ladies and gentlemen, you're going down the rabbit hole. So when you go down the rabbit hole now, that is when you're going to start to uncover all these little secrets. You see, I've told you guys, the awakening is just the beginning. Now what you do now, once you snap, you start to go down the rabbit hole and you start to dig for the truth. You want the truth because remember, you've been fed the lies all this time. Your brain has been programmed and you've been fed with lies for a very long period of time. Now you're going out there, you're seeking the truth. And each and every single truth you encounter and you realize it was a lie, your brain is killing the old cells and is actually getting new cells. So your brain is actually manufacturing new cells along your journey of enlightenment. Listen to me, chosen ones. It is one of the reasons why you see many times when you meet people that you used to know, sometimes your family members, maybe your friends, people they do not recognize because those individuals have seen you for years and they believe you have had a different character from the character that is showing them at this point. They believe that you're not the same person you used to be. Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot become the highest version of yourself when you still identify with that person that you used to be. So what do I mean by this? The person that you used to be has got to die. So that is exactly what they call the ego death. So most of the times when you're evolving in those days of in those days of awakening and everything, you're also going through an ego death because the older version of you has got to die. For you to be able to rebirth into a newer version of you, the older version of you has got to die. So you will never ever recognize, and I can guarantee you, ladies, I've seen this from experience. I've seen many times whereby I encountered certain people that I used to know many years ago, and I'm thinking that how come I can no longer relate? Because you see, at that point forthwards, it's like your mind cannot relate to the things they are saying, the things they are doing. You no longer want to fall into those patterns. It's like you're now recognizing your authentic self. You're now recognizing that you have been rewired all along your journey, and now you're recognizing that that wasn't your authentic self. You're now getting back of those old shifts or old paradigms, and you're shifting into the newer version of you. But you see, this whole process will take full enlightenment. So you're going to go through a journey of enlightenment. Is the reason why I've told you guys on my channel. It is a channel of enlightenment. So most of the times I will come around here. Most of the times I will usually teach you those things I'm learning along my journey. And I do not say I really know everything. But as you guys already know, we keep on learning each and every single day. So we learn. I've told you guys this is a journey. So each and every single day we wake up with new ideas. But of course, as a spiritual person, you will be helped by the universe. So sometimes you will usually get even downloads. You might wake up one morning with a very, very clear download. You might come around. People like me, I will share it with you. So those downloads are called spiritual downloads. So they come from source. Because remember, now you're connecting, you're rewiring yourself back. Your brain is getting rewired to your authentic version ever since, for example, those moments that you was a kid. You're getting rewired. So you will also get connected to source. We are all spiritual beings, ladies and gentlemen. If you're a person who is chosen to do specific missions, the universe is going to stand with you, and the universe is going to deliver to you that information that it wants you to deliver to the masses out there. Because remember, you light workers. So on the journey of enlightenment, your brain is going to start relearning things. You are going to outlearn a lot of things that you used to know, and your brain is going to start relearning a lot of things that you thought were true. So as you start relearning now, your brain is getting rid of old cells. So what do I mean by this? You're actually starting to develop a new brain. So that is why you see sometimes people, they're like, oh, this guy has changed. You know, how come all of a sudden, just a few days ago, a few weeks ago, a few months ago, he was different. Now you're thinking like this and now you're thinking like that. So people can no longer resonate with you because you are changing. Your brain is actually changing. Your brain is destroying old cells, and your brain is acquiring new cells. Because remember, on the journey of enlightenment, you're going to learn so many things. You're going to learn about your own habits. You will recognize your own habits that you're involved in that actually are not serving you. You will recognize toxic people, whereby these individuals, you know that whenever you're with them, there's nothing going on for you. You'll be able to recognize all these patterns. So now you're becoming more aware. So it's a journey of awareness. You're becoming more aware of the environment around you. So you are letting people go. You're letting habits go. You're learning new feeding habits. You're starting to be conscious about your sleep patterns. You're starting to be conscious about your energy, about the people you want to get involved with. Each and everything that is happening around you, it is for your highest self. So what is happening is now your brain is learning new stuff. And it keeps on going on and on and on until you reach full enlightenment. Full enlightenment, guys, I can guarantee you it takes a lot of time. It takes the work. You will see the differences. You will see, you recognize the changes on your journey. So you will recognize that you have changed. You will feel it in your heart that you have changed. And most of the times, it is sometimes a little bit scary, I can say, although it didn't really scare me because I knew what was going on. But for a person who doesn't know what is going on, it can be a scary moment because now you're sitting with people that you used to know many years ago, and you're telling them things that they do not understand. You are already acquired the new brain chosen ones. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. Now you're talking with people that you used to know. And your conversations and the things that you're talking about, they're no longer the same. The stories that you're talking about, even sometimes you may sit with them for a drink or whatever, you meet or things like that. The moment you start speaking, those individuals, they will know, you're not the guy they used to know. So sometimes you see them, they will flee. They will flee because they don't recognize you. They say, oh, this person is a witch. That guy is this and that guy is that, because they do not recognize the language that you're speaking. You have got a new brain chosen once. Your brain is getting rewired because you are supposed to step back into authenticity. It is only through authenticity that you're able to become that person that you're meant to be. the person that first of all that you came here to be and you are meant to be. So the brain is going through a transformation. So most of the time, the transformation during the journey of spiritual growth, most of the transformation happening in your lives, it is starting with the brain. So it is the brain getting rewired. So sometimes you may get into frequencies. You may start to understand very deeper about what you're listening to, because you already know that the brain is connected to everything. So sometimes you're getting much aware about the sound. So you're getting also used to frequencies. You want only to listen to certain specific frequencies. Have you asked yourself a question as to why on your journey of evolution, you almost feel as if you want to get rid of the TV? You want to open the window and throw it outside of the window. I remember those days, guys. This was very funny, So I remember those days. I was like, why did I even buy this TV in the first place? I was almost actually throwing the TV out of the window, guys. Let me tell you something. I was starting to get very angry because you tune on the TV, somebody has been killed. That's what they've been feeding your brain all along. You're now seeing the matrix for what it is. You're seeing somebody has been killed. There's been a bombing. There was a stabbing, and then the news are starting to disorganize your entire brain. And in that state, ladies and gentlemen, it is how they are wiring your brain to keep you in a low frequency, to keep you in a low vibration. Because control only happens when you're on a low vibration. There is nobody you're going to control when he's on a high vibration. You're wasting your time. You will never ever control anybody who is on a high vibration. It can't happen. So you are now more aware about the things you want to listen to. You're aware about energy. You're aware about this. You're aware about that. You're aware about every form of toxicity. It does not matter. It does not matter how cunning they will come to you. It does not matter how nice they look. You'll be aware of everything, ladies and gentlemen. Everything is starting in the brain. Your brain is getting reprogrammed. You're learning new things, and your brain is getting new cells. So it is destroying. For you to be able to learn new things, the brain has got to destroy the old cells and manufacture new cells for you. So your brain is not the same. Post-awakening, I can guarantee you guys, your brain is not the same. You have already transformed. The very moment your bulbs have gone on like this, your transformation begins. Now, of course, a lot of you guys out there, you're still waking up. Many of you are just starting to wake up. A lot of you have started your journey, your little journey. I'm just here to let you know that nobody will come around and tell you that you're crazy. You just always have to remind yourself and put it in your head and confirm it to yourself that you're simply waking up. You're not crazy. Any person who is waking up, you'll never be the same again. So, guys, you already know, I always love and appreciate your support. If you need a session with me, whether it regards narcissistic abuse, whether it regards spiritual growth, whether it regards development, whether it regards spirituality, in whichever way, shape, or form, get in touch with me. You will find my email in the description section below. If you would like to book and support my channel, you will still find everything you need down there in the description section below. And until then, it's been lovely and a blessing to have you guys on board. Much love and blessings, and I'll catch you in my next one. Desmos signing out. Peace.